Welcome back to Tina's Country Door. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make a flower wreath using the Dollar Tree bicycle wreath frame. This flower can be for fall or Christmas because of the colors of the Deco mesh I'm using. The items you will need to make this wreath are the 14-inch bicycle wreath frame from the Dollar Tree, one roll of 10-inch metallic burgundy Deco mesh, one roll of 10-inch metallic rose gold Deco mesh, and one roll of the 10-inch metallic moss apple green Deco mesh. I have 12 10 by 10 pieces of the green for leaves, 36 10 by 10 pieces of the burgundy, and 36 10 by 10 pieces of the rose gold. Now I cut all of my Deco mesh using my Woodburner. I get all of my Deco mesh from Craft Outlet. You will also need zip ties, and I get my zip ties from Amazon. I'll leave the link to the zip ties in the description. Now I am an affiliate, so I do get a small commission at no additional cost to you if you use my link. You will also need elastic bands, and you can get these from Walmart or the Dollar Tree, and they're only $1 for 500. It's easier for me to use them because of my hands to hold the petals. Or you can use a clothespin or a chip clip, bag clip to hold your petals if you need to. If you can hold the petals, then you don't need either of those. Now you'll also need a center for your wreath, but I can't show my center right now because it's drying. I use the acrylic pouring technique to make it, and so you'll have to wait until the end of the video when I put the center on my flower to see the center for this flower. You will need wire cutters and pliers. That's all that you need right now because you won't need the floral pins and the glue or glue gun until you do the center. So let's get started on this flower. Now I've already made up my green petals, and I've already got a few petals on the frame because I was trying to decide which petals I wanted to use for this wreath. And so I played around with some Deco mesh to figure out what petals I wanted to use, and that's why there are already petals on the frame. But I saved 2 pieces of the green to show you how I'm going to do the leaf petals, and I've already got the majority of my leaf petals made up, so I can get those on fast and get this flower made for you guys. For the leaf petals, got the 10 by 10 cut, and you see how it rolls up. Now, one point, with every petal you make, you want to make sure you start out with the factory edge in the same position that you did the very first petal you made, so that your wreath stays consistent. Okay, so all of my petals I started out that I've already got made, I started out with the factory edge here. So you take the 10 by 10 and you put it in a diamond shape, and you take the top and bottom corner and you meet in the middle. And I turn it like this a little sometimes to make sure that I get them even, because I am not perfect at making these petals. And I need to stop trying to be so perfect. I'm working on that. But so you fold the corners over, and then you pinch it in. You take the petal like that, flip it over. And this is where the elastics come in for me, because I can't hold the petal while I put the zip tie on the frame. Let me get my elastic. So I just put the elastic on that, 3 turns to hold that. Okay. Now I'll make another one to show you. Again, it's curled up. The factory edge is here because that's how I did my very first one, and all the other ones I've already got made. Bring the top and bottom and cross over. And then, like I said, I'll turn it this way to, try to get it as perfect as I can. Like pinch it and then flip it up, flip it over. Then I will pull them up to make sure the tips align up here. Hold that and then get my elastic to put on this to hold this for me. I like doing this because I like making up my petals before I start putting them on the frame. Now I'm going to show you how I put my leaf petals on the frame. I take one zip tie and I'll cross it over, let me pull this over, I'll cross it over that bar like this. I'll lay the petal on here, and then I'll run that in through the head. And pull that. Now where this is just a single leaf petal, I'm not worried. Usually I take my time in zipping them. I don't like to zip them completely all the way because sometimes I fiddle with my petals, and I like to have them loose so I can get my petals just the way I want them before I zip it completely. But this time I've already got, since I've already got the petals the way I want, I'm just going to go ahead and zip it. So as you can see here, I crossed over, started up here, and I come over, but I'm going to use a second zip tie because it's a little lopsided, and I'm going to come over the opposite way, making an X in the back with the 2 zip ties, and I'm going to zip it, and it pulls the leaf petal straighter then. So as you can see in the back, they're crossed over. So do another cross, put that there, run it through the head, and zip it. Run this one back over crossways, making an X in the back. Pull that tight. Clip these off. I have a zip tie gun, but I forget a lot of times that I have it. But so that's how you do the leaf petals in the back. I'm going to go on ahead because I've already got all of my leaf petals made up, and I'm going to put them on here. Well, I'm short 2 pieces of the burgundy, so I need to cut them using my Woodburner. And I thought, since I am recording this tutorial, I'll just record this and add it into this tutorial so you can see how I use my Woodburner to cut my Deco mesh. And I use my Woodburner to cut all of my mesh, even my poly burlap. Now I've got my Woodburner hot. I bought my Woodburner from Hobby Lobby, and I have just a board to hold my mesh down. Strongly advise this. When you are cutting Deco mesh, poly burlap, anything using the Woodburner, please wear a respirator mask, not an N95 or just a cloth mask. You need something that's seriously going to protect your lungs, because this is plastic that you're burning, and sometimes your Woodburner can smoke and that can get in the air. You can inhale that and it can damage your lungs. And I have a lung disease, so I'm getting ready to put my respirator mask on. That's why I got my glasses off, because I have to put my glasses on after I put my respirator on. So I'm not going to be able to really talk after I put this on. Well, I mean, I can, but you guys won't be able to hear me that good. But I'm going to explain before I do this what I do. The edge, when you first open the roll of Deco mesh, is jagged and frayed and all that. So I just come out a little bit from the edge, maybe a ½ inch or whatever, and I'll cut that off using the Woodburner. And what I do is, you'll see here, there are these lines that go this way. I will put the tip of my Woodburner between these 2 of these lines and cut down the middle. And what that does is that melts that plastic, and that keeps these lines from coming out, because that plastic is melted and kind of balled up a little bit. Not a lot, but enough to keep that strip from coming out. Now, this doesn't keep your Deco mesh from fraying. It's not 100% fray proof, but it helps with it a lot. So I'm going to put my respirator mask on while I do this, because I don't want to take any chances with my lungs. Not even with just 2 pieces of, 2 pieces. So when you put your respirator on, if you hold your hands over the filters that's on each side and you breathe in and it causes the mask to, like a suction, suck into your face, that means that it's airtight. So I do that every time I put my mask on to make sure that it's airtight. Okay, now I got my glasses on. You want to make sure you do not use the wood burner on your mat. It will destroy it. I bought a very good sturdy picture frame, and I use the glass out of that picture frame. You can also get like a see-through glass from a refrigerator, or you can even buy a cutting board. You can, other things like that. I tried a cutting board before and I didn't like it. I'm going to show you how I fold the flower petals for my wreath. Pull this up here. I've got all of these already made except for two, so I can show you how to make. Now this next row, the first and second row of the flower petals are going to be made the same. So I'm going to show you how to make them. I'm going to put these two rows on, and then I will come back and I'll show you how I'm going to do the last row of the flower petals, because it is going to be different. So I'm going to take one burgundy and one rose gold. Make sure I get my elastics ready. Now I do this the same way, the burgundy the same way I did the leaf petal, and the factory edge up here, same way I did the leaf petal. Bring the tips, the top and bottom tip together, turn it around this way to make sure I got it as even as I can, and then pinch it, fold it up like that, flip it over, make sure the tips are even, and then I put the elastic on it. And that holds that while I do this one. Now this one, I'm doing different. It's curved down instead of curved up. And since it's that way, I have to do the factory edge down here because of the way I flip it up to have it consistent with that. So I lay it diagonally or diamond shape. I go from the bottom tip and I walk to the top tip. And then I flip it like this. And there, I'm gonna have to get scissors. There's a little phrase, a little sticking out there. And now I just take the burgundy, and I put it in between where this right here, if I can show you, like that. And I hold that, get my elastic, and now, so that's what the petal looks like. I'll do that again. Factory edge here, diamond shape, bottom tip, top tip. Bottom tip, top tip together. Walk it in, flip it. Make sure the tips line up. wrap that around it. This one, the rose gold, factory edge down here, walk it from the bottom tip to the top tip, flip it this way, and lay the burgundy under it. Pinch it to hold it. I get my elastic. Put my elastic on there to hold it. And then the reason I like doing the elastics is because I can make all of my petals up ahead of time, and it's faster for me to just zip them on the frame. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I put these on the frame. You just, real easy. You just take the zip tie. I go ahead and I start zipping it. So that's less I have to fool with my hands trying to get it done. And I just slide that in there. And then make sure, and I just zip it. Easy peasy. Zip it off. I need to get my zip tie gun out. That's it. Easy. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this row and the next row on because they're exact same petals. So I'm going to go ahead and put this row and the next one on, and I will come back and we'll do the last row. After hanging my flower up and looking at it, I decided I wanted to go on ahead and add 12 more green because I just didn't, there just wasn't enough green for me. So all I did was in between the bars right here, I slid a green petal in and I crossed the zip ties just like I did with these, but I zipped them on the back and then I just pushed the head in. So, I mean, easy peasy. So that's what I did. I added 12 more, so that gives me 24 green. The petal fold I'm using for the last row of flower petals is so easy. So I've got my 10 by 10. It's rolled up, the factory edge here. I take the top corner and the bottom corner and meet in the middle. And I like to do that to make sure I've got them even. And I walk it in. So I've got it like this. And I twist. And then bring that one over that one. And pinch it and hold it like that. And then I'll do my elastic. Now I've got almost all of these made up. I kept 2 pieces to show you how to do it. That's the petal. And then both of the factory edges are here, consistent with the other petals. Again, 10 by 10, curled up, diamond shape, top and bottom corners. Walk it in like this, twist, and then pinch. Now I like this petal because it gives it a more of a flare look. And I'll just situate that petal. That's what I like about using the elastics, if the petal doesn't look the way I like, and sometimes it doesn't because I'm a perfectionist. I can just take the elastic off and straighten it up. So that's why I like using the elastic. That point, okay, I think that might do it. That point was sticking over that one. See, that point was sticking over the front point a little more than I like. That should do it. We'll see. And it's so easy to put these on. And then after I put these on, I will do the center. So they're not all gonna be the same, and I know that. It's just my OCD. And when I say I got OCD, you might think that I'm joking because I laugh about it, but I seriously have OCD, and I'll show you. These little blue tapes. I took my measuring tape and I measured, let me flip her over here. I measured from here to here all the way around to get the same length. And I've marked it with tape so that I can bring all these down the same length and then put my center pieces on. That is my OCD. So even though I giggle about it when I talk about it, I'm serious. You can do that if you want to. You don't have to. That's just a little quirk that I have. So, okay, so I've already got my zip ties on. Make it go easier and faster. I just put them around the bar and started them. And take the little nub of the petal, put it on here, and zip it. Okay, straighten that up. Like that, that one. Yeah, it'll be okay, it'll have to work. So easy. Now I'm going to put the rest of the petals in the third row, and then next thing is putting the center on. Now it's time to put the center on, and this is the center I'm using. I made this center doing the acrylic pouring method. Isn't that so pretty? And that's really that's gonna make that pop. Oh, I just love it. That's why I love using the acrylic pouring method on the flower centers, because it makes the flower wreath so unique. I show how I make my centers in my Ophelia Wreath Designs group that I have on my Facebook page. It is a paid tutorial group. I show how I do all of my Ophelia Wreath designs in the group and how I pour my centers. My wreath designs are the Ophelia flower, the Ophelia angel wings, and the Ophelia Christmas tree. I'll leave a link for that group in the description if you want to check that out. So to do the center, you need 2 floral pins, and I already stuck them in there, and you need glue to glue them down a little bit. And then I use a zip tie and I run it through those. I've already put a zip tie in here in the center because it's easier for me to just use 2 zip ties to try to get this on there. Well, I slide this zip tie. You do it the best way you can. What way's better for you? But I take this and I'll slide this through those floral pins. It's getting stuck on me. All right, let's get that through there. Okay, I've got that through, and now I'm going to start zipping that. Usually the one that I have on the frame, I keep it loose until I get the center, until I get this zip tie tightened as tight as I want to. But I had already tried a different flower petal for this, and I put the center on. I didn't like it, so I took all that off, and so I had to redo this. But I keep the one on the frame loose until I get this one tightened, because I have to have room to be able to pull that. And so I can get my clippers under there to clip that off. But, oh wow, isn't that so pretty? I love that. I love it. I didn't know if I wanted this tree, I wanted this flower to be for Thanksgiving, but I think it's more of maybe a Christmas. I don't know. Let's clip that off. Get in there. See, this is why I leave the one on the frame loose. Okay. So there's the center on it. Now, you can, let me flip this over. Even though you can see all the zip ties and everything, I don't think the back really looks bad, but I'm going to use a placemat to put over the back. Tighten this. Clip that off. So I'm going to show you how I put the placemat on. This is a placemat I'm going to use. I got this from the Dollar Tree. They have them in different colors. I have quite a few of them stocked up. And it fits almost perfectly on this frame. So I just lay that over the frame, find a little place right there to run the zip tie through, and zip it. I don't zip it all the way as tight as it'll go, because after I get all of these on, I like to try to get the cover as even as I can on the back. So I'll mess with that a little bit, pulling the zip ties to get that even. And I try to go straight across from each other for zip ties. That through there. I seem to be a little bit fidgety today. Okay, let me those up. Clip them off. I'll put a link to this zip gun in the description in case you want to get one. I'll put a link for everything I've used in the video for y'all to check out if you want to buy anything that I've used. So I'm going to hang this on my door and I'll come back. Well, here's the flower hanging on the door. I was going for a fall flower, but I think it's more of a Christmas. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments. Do you think it can go for fall and Christmas, or is it more of just a Christmas flower? It measures 29 inches in diameter, and I think the center makes the flower pop. Look at that. I love the center on this flower, and I'm glad I chose the petal that I did for the third row. I think it gives it that extra flair. I got that petal from Michelle of A Noble Touch Crafts. You can check out her videos on her YouTube channel. And if you do, let her know that I sent you. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. If you haven't already followed me on my other social media sites yet, you can check out my accounts. I'll leave the links in the description below. I hope you got some inspiration from this tutorial. I love to inspire others to create, and I hope you try out this frame from the Dollar Tree. It's so much fun working with this bicycle frame.